Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had a great Halloween, and we're rolling into November, and we're here to provide you with the Canmore market update for October. So let's talk about what happened in the market as a whole. This is going to exclude the pre-sales, which there were only 2, and we'll touch on those later on in the video. So do you want to start with what happened as a whole?
Sure. So at the end of the month in October, we had 135 listings. There was 57 new listings. Units sold were 30. The average list price was 1,033 million, and the average sale price was 1,011. So really close to the list price. Sold to ask ratio was 98%. Average price per square foot was $736.40. The average days on the market was 70. And the month's supply was 3.31.
The pre-sales, we had 2 sales for the month of October. The average list price was coming in at just under 1.1 million, and the average sale price was just shy of 1.15 million. So the average sold to ask ratio for those pre-sales was 105%, and the average price per square foot was coming at $1,044 per square foot. Average days on market was 25, so we did see those move.
Yeah, and I think again the 105%, that could be like how did they sell more than list?
Yeah.
Typically the list price shows no GST, and then the sales price shows GST. So
yeah,
that's where you get that 105% on those investment properties.
Correct. And so when we're talking about the pre-sale hotel condos, they're going to be the exact same as the used market for hotel condos, because the same thing applies with the GST. Mm-hmm. So you can see how the pre-sales are selling for a little bit more than the used market.
So but it's kind of skewed a little bit.
Yeah, we'll touch on that as we have in our previous videos. So let's get into specific property types.
Sure.
Let's talk about apartments first. We had 9 sales for an average list price of just over $900,000. The average sale price for those apartments was coming in at just over $880,000, which gives us a 98% sold to ask ratio. The average price per square foot, $603, and our average days on the market was 116. And you're going to see that that is a little bit of a common trend. Obviously, the 116 was our highest days on market for specific property types, but we did see some of the used market that had been sitting on the listed for a while move this month, which is good. Yeah. So that is why those days on the market are a little bit higher. That's not necessarily a reflection of
the market as a whole.
Yeah, over the last kind of 3 months, but it just goes to show you that we did see some of that stuff sell. So.
Which is good, right? Some of the product that's been on is finally starting to move. So townhouses, we had 7 sell in the month of October. The average list price was just over or almost 1.2 million. The average sale price was 1.15 million. 97% sold to ask. The average price per square foot was 655 and change, and the average days on market was 86.
Single family, we had 3 sales for an average list price of just over 1.8 million. The average sale price was coming in at 1.735. The average sold to ask ratio was 94%. Mm-hmm. The price per square foot for those on an average basis was $660. And our days on market were 79 as an average.
The half duplexes, we had 2 sell in October. 1.4 million was the list price. The average sale price was 1.377. 98% of ask. $600 a square foot, just over, and the average days on the market was 19.
And we've seen that kind of in our own personal business as well, that there's been quite a bit of demand, and those half duplexes have gone pretty quick, multiple offers, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and that's interesting, because maybe let's get through this and we can talk a little bit about that in the summary.
Lots and acreages, we had none for October. Hotel condos. So this is going to exclude those pre-sales and is strictly used market. We had 6 sales for an average list price of $707,000. The average sale price was $724,000 and change. Our sold to ask ratio was 103%, and our average price per square foot was coming in at 1,032 and change. Days on market on an average were 18. So still some pretty good demand in those hotel condos. Again, keep in mind the GST and whatnot on there. Not included on the list price, but is included on the sale price. But we have noticed that the sold to ask ratio has dropped a little bit from our previous months, but still holding very strong.
It's still holding very strong. Yeah. I think just on the hotel condos, we did take out the fractionals as well as the pre-sales. There was one fractional just because it would just skew the numbers quite dramatically. So, if you want information on fractionals, let us know, because there are a few complexes in town that do have some fractional options.
For sure.
So tourist homes, we saw 3 sell, average sale price $656,000. The average list price was $656,000. The average sale price was $681,000. Again, GST on those, 104% sold to ask. $897.50 per square foot, and 59 days on the market. So the tourists seem to be staying on a little longer, or we may have just seen a few sell that were on the market for quite some time.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, like Kevin said, it's important to note that the tourist home, for the majority of the time, they are going to have the GST on the sale price.
Yeah.
However, some people do use those zone properties as residential, but primarily they're used as short-term rentals, from our experience. Yeah. So, I mean, I think with the investment market, when looking at, short-term rentals and stuff like that, we typically see the market soften a little bit in this time of the year because it is a little bit quieter. We're coming off our peak season, so some people are looking to, potentially sell. The buying level, the interest is still there, but, buyers are also educated on the revenue that is generated in the summer versus now. Mm-hmm. Even though it is pretty steady all year round, it's not like you're not going to generate any revenue. It's just, it's not July and August. So
yeah, and I think what we're seeing as a whole is the residential market seems to be where most of the people are investing in right now. So we'll see how that goes forward. But typically November and April are slower months when it comes to investment properties. Yeah,
and it'll be interesting to see how the market, specifically the short-term rental market, changes with what's happening over in BC with the new regulations. And if you don't know what that's about, or even if you do, we actually just put out a video on it. It's going to be up in the description here below. I'll link it. Make sure you go and take a watch of that, because we do break it down. We talk about the regulation or the legislation and how that's affecting those people. And then we also talk about how it can potentially affect Canmore.
Yeah.
So definitely go and watch that. But that kind of ties up everything for short-term rentals.
Yeah, I think if you're someone that's watching our monthly market updates, and you will notice that, as a whole, if you look at the overall market, you see the average list price last month was like 1.3, and it's 1.03 now. That's what we want to reiterate is that the price per square foot is very similar.
Yeah.
So it's more of what is selling.
Yeah.
So that it's just something to take into consideration. The sold ask is still there. Yeah. The square foot price is still very, very similar within dollars. So I think it's important that don't be alarmed if you're watching monthly or getting these monthly market updates with these videos. Don't be alarmed that the number seems to be very, very different from a month-to-month basis. It's more of what is selling. I think, we sit here and we try and come up with this magic bullet that we could tell everybody about what the market's doing. But I really, it's just in that same type of market. Canmore is still really, really strong. And, I don't see that changing. There are sectors of the market.
Yeah.
Apartments, maybe a little bit. Mm-hmm. That are staying on the market longer, and I think, as we talked before, we need to see something sell there to kind of figure out where that's gonna level off. Like specifically, like let's just say Spring Creek, where there's 8 listings, and I think there was another one today.
Yeah.
So 9 listings there. Yeah. We need a sale to happen. Whereas half duplexes, like up in Morris, they're just selling. They're selling fairly quickly.
Which is interesting, because Spring Creek is a very desirable
Yeah, I don't think it's an
neighborhood,
indication
so-
of the neighborhood at all.
Yeah, just what people are buying right now
It's changed.
is changed a bit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the market changes or stays the same here over the next couple months. Typically, we see December and January a little bit quieter around the holiday season, but who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, like last November was really busy, and there was
Yep.
lots in December that happened. So,
Yep.
you know, it's still a good market here in
Yeah.
Canmore. So,
And make sure you keep watching these videos because come year end, we are going to put out a big market update video where we're going to talk about the year as a whole,
Yeah.
and we're going to compare it to previous years, which will be super educational because lots has happened this year, and with the previous years and COVID, it'll be interesting to see how Canmore's market has changed from a greater scale. So we look forward to pumping out more content for you, and if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that is so greatly appreciated by us, and we love hearing your feedback, and we look forward to connecting with you in the near future. Take care.